Can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rapids red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof to the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Filling out the ceremony of first
It's
It's Wareham Gatemen baseball, and you're watching it on WCTV. We've got a great display of baseball for you this afternoon. It's the Harwich Mariners, and they're playing against the Wareham Gatemen in a second game of this Sunday doubleheader. It's 6:11 right now here on the East Coast, wherever you're listening in the Wareham area here on the south coast of Massachusetts. And we should expect this game to go just a couple of hours. Expect the lights to be turned on around 8 o'clock, and we're really excited for today's game. I'm Connor Federico, and thank you for watching tonight. Starter for the Gatemen today, it's Jordan Montgomery. He's pitched against the Harwich Mariners earlier in the season. In that outing, he went 3 scoreless innings, but allowed the bases to be loaded twice. He's looking to have a little more command of his fastball that gets to around 91 miles an hour. The pitcher from Cal Baptist. He had a good season with the Lancers this season, and is now looking to make his mark in the Cape Cod Baseball League. Look for Montgomery to use a little change-up and a little off-speed slider action to help him get out of the hitters that go like this for the Harwich Mariners. Batting first, the leadoff man, Andrew Moritz. He was not retired in the first game between these two. Then it'll be Max Burt, Kobe Vance. Batting fourth after that is going to be Brad Debo. At the 5 spot will be Kyler Murray. Batting 6, Matt Vierling. Batting 7th, Nick D'Alessandro. Batting 8th, Jake Farrell. And batting 9th will be Justin Novak. It's the first pitch, and we are underway here between these two teams from the East and West Division. It's going to be a called strike to Andrew Moritz. Montgomery deals, and this one's grounded to the right side. Robbie Metz fields it cleanly onto first in time. And that will be the first out of the inning, and the Gatemen retire Moritz for the first time today. Moritz had a single in the first inning of the first game, a single in the third inning and came around to score, walked in the 5th inning. And Montgomery now will deal to the second batter, Max Burt, wearing number 36 in gray and red for the Harwich Mariners. On deck, Kobe Vance, who had a 2 RBI single in the last game. Ground ball to Metz again. He picks it up, throwing a first right in time, and that's a quick little out for Metz. So he's put away both Harwich batters so far in this contest, and We've got 2 outs with nobody on for Kobe Vance. On deck is Brad Debo, who had a solo shot his first time around. The Gatemen defense, it's going to be Jake Anchia getting his first start today at first base. He caught in the first game, so he'll get a little break for his knees, as this pitch is high from Montgomery on Vance. At second base, you've seen Metz twice. At shortstop, it's going to be Ben Baird. And over at third base, the shortstop from the first game, Kyle Kasser. In left field, John Topa. In center, Nick Angelini. And in right is Luke Bonfield. DHing today for the Gatemen is Tristan Pompey, who had a great night just a couple ago against the Hyannis Harbor Hawks. Ground ball back to the pitcher, and Montgomery puts away Vance. It's a 1-2-3 inning, and you're watching Wareham Gatemen Baseball on WCTV. It's Wareham Gatemen Baseball on WCTV. The Gatemen will have their first crack at Cullen Dana, today's pitcher for the Harwich Mariners, the lefty out of Seton Hall. The sophomore this year for the Pirates had 13 starts, a 3.40 ERA, a 5-3 record in the Big East, that's pretty impressive, and 81 strikeouts. That earned him an All-Big East second-team selection. He throws with his left arm and stands a whopping 6'5" and 225 pounds. The first hitter he'll face today is Kyle Kasser, hitting in the leadoff role for the first time. Justin Montgomery did a good job in the first inning for the Gatemen, sitting down the Mariners 1-2-3. Kasser bats on the left side of the plate. Coming into today, he had 2 RBIs in the season, 1 in each game he played in against Orleans, which, by the way, was the game that Pompey really broke out on the scene for the Gatemen. It wasn't against Hyannis. And he had an RBI yesterday at Falmouth. He hits this one along the third base line, and it goes foul. On deck, Robbie Metz, who's going to get a start in the second hole tonight and is playing second base for the Gatemen, and he's usually, when he's playing, he's been hitting at the bottom of the order. Dana out of the windup, deals. This ball is in the dirt, blocked by the catcher, Debo. Beautiful day for baseball here at Spillane Field. Sorry, today's catcher is D'Alessandro for the second game. Debo caught the first game, and he'll be DHing today. Ground ball to the left side. It's picked up by Vance, and just in time onto first base. So Kyle Kasser uses his speed, almost beats out an infield single, but is sent back to the dugout, and this will bring up Robbie Metz. George Washington Colonial had a good year, and when he was here last season with the Gatemen, hit .280 and stole 13 bags en route to a West All-Star selection. He'll bat on the right side now against the lefty Dana, and this ball gets behind D'Alessandro and rolls back to the backstop. Metz taking his time, getting back in the batter's box. Dana kicks and fires, and this one is high to Metz. The count goes 2-0, so for the first time today, a Gatemen hitter is ahead in the count. Dana deals, and this one's lined into center field. Coming on and letting it drop is the center fielder, and it's going to be a base hit. Moritz didn't have much of a play on the ball. It was just well struck. And on base right now is Robbie Metz. He had a really slow start to his season, but has been great as of late. Yesterday against Falmouth had a 2-hit day with a run scored and a run batted in. So great start by Metz, and we talked about how he has those 13 stolen bases. He could get one here. But Pompey, he'll bat first, and he'll foul this one along the right field line, but it's going to be caught by the right fielder Veerling. And Pompey is quickly retired. That'll be the second out of the inning. So after Pompey's really hot start, 4 for 5 was his line on Friday night. He's 0 for with a couple of strikeouts, so really tough position to be in there for Pompey. You can tell he's upset with himself and struck out looking in the last game on a pitch that was way outside the strike zone. Metz stands at first. At bat is Willie McIver. He swings this one and drives it to center field straight at number 6, Andrew Moritz, and that will retire the side. So after one inning, the Gatemen get a hit, but leave Robbie Metz at first base. This is still a 0-0 ball game. It's WCTV, Wareham Gatemen Baseball. Thank you. Beautiful Wareham, Massachusetts, you just saw coming across your screen. Courtesy of our WCTV camera crew today, who do such a good job for all the Gatemen home games. You can watch Wareham Gatemen Baseball for all 22 of Wareham's home games here at Spillane Field this year, and the Gatemen are hoping they might play more than 22. We know that the All-Star game is going to be held here, and we hope that Wareham will find a way into the playoffs, but right now they're in last place in the Western Division with a 4-8 record. If they lose today in this second game, they'll be 4-9 as Justin Montgomery deals to the cleanup hitter Brad Debo. It was a 1-2-3 inning for Montgomery his first go around, and swinging and fouling this ball off is Debo, who had a home run in his first go around. Montgomery out of the windup. Debo lines this one to left field, and it goes foul. Top of the second here. Harwich Mariners 0, Wareham Gatemen 0. Count is 0-1. And the sun has now come out behind some clouds. Great day for baseball. A lot of fans on hand here today. Check swing, and it's ruled that the runner did the go. Throwing on to first is McIver, and that's going to be the first out of the inning. So what was almost a drop third strike, successful conversion for the Mariners, has now turned into an out thanks to the outstanding arm of Willie McIver behind the plate. McIver played third in the first game, and Kasser will take his spot there now. Ben Baird, Robbie Metz, they didn't play in the first game today. And they are going to be the new middle infield duo for this second of a twin bill afternoon. Up to bat now, Kyler Murray, and he takes the ball outside. So 1 out. Montgomery's gone 4 up, 4 down so far. He deals, and this is a called strike. This is another called strike, low at the knees of Kyler Murray, and great pitching so far from Montgomery, throwing consistent strikes. The count moves to 1-2. And a ground ball here. It looks like it's just going to go foul. Kasser picks it up left to the third baseline. Count remains at 1-2, so Montgomery will have to throw another 1-2 pitch to Murray. On deck, Matt Vierling. The 1-2. Check swing, but hit back up the middle. Picking it up is Baird. On the run, and the throw is in time. A great play by Ben Baird. Throwing across his body on the run, and he gets the speedy Kyler Murray just in time. Really tough play there, and Baird made it look easy. Kyler Murray looked like he might have been safe, but doesn't matter what I think up here in left field. It matters what the umpires say. So it's gone 5 up, 5 down now for Justin Montgomery. Swing and a miss now from Matt Vierling, sorry. D'Alessandro is the on-deck batter, and he's a pretty great catcher. An offensive threat. So is Vierling. He pops this one up now. It's into right field. Bonfield is under it, and he makes the catch for the third out of the inning. It's 6 up, 6 down for Justin Montgomery. The Gatemen have a chance in the bottom of the second to put the first runs of the game on the board. You're watching Wareham Gatemen Baseball on WCTV. Bottom of the second, Wareham Gatemen baseball on WCTV. It's a new pitcher after only giving up one hit in the bottom of the first inning. Looks like Cullen Dana's night is done, and he's going to be replaced by Dylan Grove. The righty out of the stretch throws his first pitch, out of the windup, I'm sorry. And the count goes to 0-1 on Luke Bonfield, who has a 3-run home run on the season that he hit earlier this week, the Arkansas Razorback. Swings on one and fouls it away, so the count is now 0-2. Pretty interesting to see Dana taken out after the first inning. Maybe just wanted to see how he'd do as Bonfield fouls this one out of play and into the parking lot behind Wareham High School, home of the Vikings. The Vikings share this field with the Gatemen. Pitch is swung on and missed off speed, and Bonfield is fooled. He'll go back to the dugout now, and this will bring up Jake Anchia, today's first baseman. Usually plays catcher. Dylan Grove was up here in the first game talking to our Sam Corman. Grove deals now. Looks like a check swing from Anchia, but it's ruled that he does go around, so the count will go to 0-1. And so far, Grove has come into the game here in the bottom of the second, hasn't thrown a ball yet. This one is finally a ball. It runs inside and on Anchia, and he just gets out of the way. Count goes to 1-1 now. The 1-1 is called for a strike. Count will go to 1-2. So after throwing his first ball of the afternoon, Grove comes quickly back with an off-speed pitch that just gets the inside corner. Anchia waits and takes this one inside. So Grove repeatedly trying to get back to that inside pitch. Count will go to 2-2. Gateman's only hit in this ball game was in the bottom of the first, Robbie Metz. And Anchia's going to get the second hit of the ball game. It goes into the left center gap. Picking it up is Kyler Murray, rounding first and deciding to retreat back is Anchia. It's going to be a one-out single, and the Gatemen have a runner aboard. So they've had a one-out single in each of the first 2 innings of play so far. And Dylan Grove is welcomed into the ball game by Anchia. He's aboard now, and this will bring up John Topa, who's been one of the Gatemen's most consistent hitters, but has struggled as of late. Topa did not have a hit in game 1 of today's ball game. Grove out of the stretch for the first time today. The first pitch he throws is low and away. Anchia over there at first base. Not much of a threat to steal bases, but every hitter in this Gatemen lineup does have some speed. So Anchia has speed for a catcher, but be surprised to see him go. Topa stands in and takes a ball in the dirt, and he tells his teammate Anchia to hold up there at first base. Middle infield of Burt and Vance are at double play depth. Topa definitely has speed, though. It'll be hard to turn a double play on him if they get a ground ball. Topa with the hitter's count now, 2-0. He swings and chops this one straight to the shortstop, Burt. Flips on to second. On to first, in time! It's another close play at first, but it ends up being a 6-4-3 inning-ending double play, and John Topa and Jake Anchia are sent back to the dugout. It's no runs on one hit, and after the double play, no men left on base. Still a 0-0 ball game. WCTV, Wareham Gatemen Baseball. Top of the third inning in a 7-inning ball game today because this is the second of a doubleheader. The last doubleheader scheduled of the season for Wareham. And Justin Montgomery will come out to pitch the third inning for the Gatemen. Out of the windup, he deals, and this ball is inside to Nick D'Alessandro, the catcher for the second game. Montgomery so far has gone 6 up, 6 down, something that his counterpart Joey Matulovic could not do against these Mariners hitters. And a called strike now. Count goes to 1-1, so quickly working back into the count is Montgomery, yes. Jake Farrell and Justin Novak are on deck. They may be the 8 and 9 hitters, but they can certainly show off as D'Alessandro swings and misses at a heater. So the count will go to 1-2. Interesting to see what Montgomery does here. It seems like he wants to work very quickly. He starts his windup as soon as D'Alessandro gets back in the box, and the catcher just fouls it off. So the count will go to 1-2. McIver giving the pitcher, Montgomery, a little head nod, telling him he likes what he sees. And we'll have a 1-2 coming now from Montgomery. He takes a sign, kicks, fires, and swinging and missing is D'Alessandro. It's going to be the second strikeout of the day for Justin Montgomery, and his stuff has been really on right now. Great off-speed pitch there on a 1-2 count to get the catcher D'Alessandro, and this will bring up the left-hitting Jake Farrell. This is going to be the only time that the Harwich Mariners visit Spillane Field this season, as Montgomery deals a called strike. In the Cape Cod Baseball League schedule, you play each team that's outside of your division, because the Gatemen are in the West and Harwich is in the East, as a big swing and a miss there from Farrell. Mariners and the Gatemen will only play 4 times this season. That means 2 at each opposing ballpark, and there's going to be 2 games here today as Montgomery misses on the 0-2, and the count will go to 1-2. Same count he just got D'Alessandro to swing and miss on. So really working quick right now is Montgomery, trying to just mow through these Harwich hitters one at a time. Called strike 3 on the outside corner. It's a big change up from Montgomery, and it fools Farrell, and he's rung up looking. It's going to be the second strikeout of this inning and the third of the game for Justin Montgomery, whose stuff has been great so far for Harwich, and you can see their dugout's a little deflated right now. They had better success in the first game. Called strike to Justin Novak, who we did not see in Game 1 today, but did play in Harwich's 9-0 loss to the Gatemen last Thursday night. He takes a called strike now right at the knees, so Montgomery back-to-back just getting 2 strike counts very quickly. And he'll have the 0-2 here. 1 pitch away from getting out of this third, and this one's going to be grounded foul. So Novak stays alive on a tough off-speed pitch in the dirt from Montgomery that fooled him. Might see him go back to the fastball here. That's really working for him today. Count is 0-2. Montgomery kicks, and fouling this one off his foot is Novak. Gatemen thought it might have been in play, specifically Willie McIver and Kyle Kasser, but it definitely came off of the foot. So we're going to do the 0-2 count for the third time. 5th pitch of this at-bat to Novak. Swinging and missing, strike 3. Justin Montgomery strikes out the side. D'Alessandro, Farrell, and Novak go down. It's another 1-2-3 inning, 9 up, 9 down for Justin Montgomery, and the Gatemen look to provide him some run support in the bottom of the third. You're listening to Wareham Gatemen Baseball. You're watching it on WCTV. Bottom of the third inning here. Ben Baird's going to lead this inning off for the Wareham Gatemen. On deck is Nick Angelini. The number 8 and 9 batters are up, and then the order will flip for Kyle Kasser, who's 0 for 1 in this game. We didn't see Baird or Angelini in the first game. And Baird takes low for a ball. He has been struggling recently for the Gatemen. Batting average pretty low at this point in the season. Baird, check swing, and the first base umpire rules that he did go, so struggles for first base umpire continue today. If he was the guy Troop that was behind the plate in the first game, he's really had a struggle. As the home plate umpire, he missed some calls on the outside and inside corners. Possibly 2 or 3 incorrect calls today over at first base, but for the Gatemen and the Mariners, it's not about what the umpires do for the most part. It's about can you get the bat on the ball and drive in runs. Right now, neither team has done that. Score currently 0-0. Baird swings and misses. Foul tip actually into the glove, and it's strike 3. He's sat down for the first out of the inning. It'll bring up Nick Angelini. Angelini, the Bryant Bulldog, late addition to this Gateman roster towards the end of May. And he swings and hits this one deep to center field. Under it the entire time was Moritz, and it falls straight into his glove. So the Gateman center fielder flies out directly to the Mariners center fielder. And now we're going to wait on the pitch to Kyle Kasser. So the order flips for the Gatemen, and it's the first time that any batter in this game will have 2 at-bats. Kasser hitting from the left side. Came into this game hitting .300 on the season. Shows bunt and pulls it away. Kasser with a 1-0 count. Hits it to the right side, and it's hit straight to Vance. He picks it up on a short hop, throws it on a first in time, and it's a 1-2-3 inning now for the pitcher, Dylan Grove. So both of these teams struggling on the offensive side of things, but they'll try to get it going in the top of the 4th and the bottom of the 4th, respectively. You're watching Wareham Gatemen Baseball on WCTV. It's the top of the 4th, and Justin Montgomery will face a lineup of Gatemen hitters in the bullpen. Not much action right now, and they're going to let Montgomery work. He's been absolutely fantastic, sitting down the first 9 batters he's faced from the Mariners lineup. So Andrew Moritz is going to bat now. Moritz from the UNC Greensboro Spartans. This year as a sophomore, first team All-Southern Conference, and he played in the Clemson Regional of the NCAA tournament, was made the all-regional team. this season with the Spartans. Wow, hit .392. Really impressive stuff as he takes a ball and the count goes to 2-1. 38 RBIs, but even more impressively, 16 stolen bases. And he made SportsCenter top 10 March 10th of this year. He flies this one out to left field and it goes foul out of play. John Topol will return back to his left field position. Montgomery gets a new ball. Justin Montgomery so far, 4 strikeouts, and 3 of them came in the bottom of the third. His stuff has been absolutely commanding right now. Really going after hitters with 2 strike counts. Here's one, and it's going to be a ground ball to Metz. He fields it cleanly, throws it on to Anchia at first, and that's going to be the first out of the top of the 4th. That's exactly the same way Moritz went down the first go-around in the top of the 1st. He grounded out to Robbie Metz. And another guy who did the same thing, Max Burt, he's about to hit right now. Montgomery deals, and this is the first time in a while we've seen him miss on the first pitch of an at-bat. It's in the dirt, and he'll get a new ball right now. Umpire throws that one away, so we have a 1-0 and a curveball that just never curved, and it'll hang up there above the big H on the chest of Burt and the rest of these Mariner hitters today. Count goes to 2-0 in favor of the hitter. Montgomery kicks and deals, and a big swing and a miss from Max Burt. So the count goes to 2-1, and after missing on 2 breaking balls for the first 2 pitches, Montgomery comes back with a fastball. What'll he do on 2-1? Fastball again, swing and a miss. Count goes to 2-2. McIver, the catcher, is really liking what he's seeing out of Montgomery right now, and this is the performance from a pitcher that the Gatemen have needed so desperately in these past few games. Can Montgomery keep it up? Another 2-2. Called strike 3 at the knees. Max Burt is sent back down to the dugout. Montgomery gets his 5th strikeout of the afternoon. 2 outs and nobody on. Of note, that's the first strikeout that's been looking. So the Gatemen have really been looking for that one all day. Swinging and hitting this one into center field for a base hit is Kobe Vance. The no-no is over. Fielding it toughly was Angelini. It got under his legs, but Vance decides to stay at first base. It's finally a base runner for the Harwich Mariners, and it'll bring up a really dangerous hitter in Brad Debo, and it seems now that the Mariners have their confidence back. So Debo, who had a home run in the first game today, will step in. Montgomery deals, and he throws a called strike. Montgomery out of the stretch for the first time today. Wow, that is really impressive. That he went 3 2/3 innings without giving up a base hit. Montgomery deals, it's a ground ball, and it just goes foul. Debo, with the NC State Wolfpack, as a freshman this year, was named a collegiate baseball freshman All-American. Hit .335 for the Wolfpack, including 4 home runs and 43 RBIs. Went to Raleigh to NC State, but hails from Durham, North Carolina, where Duke University is, and he takes a ball high. Montgomery, and the offering from Montgomery is fouled away by Debo near his own team's dugout. Thankfully, everyone is all right. Debo fouls another one away, so the count will remain at 1-2. Umpire gets a new ball from one of the Gatemen bat boys. Vance, that was the first base hit of this game for the Harwich Mariners. The Gatemen have had 2 coming off the bats of Robbie Metz and Jake Anchia. Montgomery puts the ball behind his back and now has it in his glove. He breathes deeply, kicks, fires, swinging and missing his Debo, but he'll run on down to first base. McIver picks it up and delivers a perfect throw onto Anchia at first, and that will end this half inning. In the top of the 4th, it's a base hit for Kobe Vance, but nothing enough to get him around. The score still 0-0, and you're watching Wareham Gatemen Baseball on the Gatemen Baseball Network. It's the bottom of the 4th inning, Wareham Gatemen Baseball on WCTV. Leading off for the Gatemen here is Robbie Metz, and he swings at the first pitch he sees and fouls it away. Metz had a single in the first inning, and after that was succeeded by outs from Tristan Pompey and Willie McIver. Metz, the 0-1 against him. Waiting on the pitch from Grove. He swings and hits this one into center field. Coming on and letting it bounce is Moritz. Metz is going to hold up at first, and it's a 2-hit day for Robbie Metz in 2 at-bats. The Gatemen have their leadoff runner aboard, and that could mean really good things for Wareham right now. When they do that in a 0-0 ball game, it's usually a good sign for them. And coming up to bat right now is a guy who struggled recently, but boy, does he have a bright future ahead of him, Tristan Pompey. He's batting from the left side right now. He batted from the right in his first at-bat. Pompey waiting on the first pitch. He swings a big cut and misses at it. And the count goes to 0-1. On deck is Willie McIver, who had a double and scored a run on a passed ball back in the first game. The blue batting gloves and elbow pad for Pompey, including his blue cleats, are all for his Kentucky Wildcats. Grove out of the stretch. Deals, and this one's grounded to the first baseman. Nope, it's foul. Wow, that was going to be a pretty easy double play if that ball had stayed fair for Jake Farrell. Instead, it just goes foul, and instead of stepping on the bag and throwing out Metz on a tag play at second, he has to eat it, and Pompey will now get a second chance on an 0-2 count. The Gatemen have 1 run today. This is the 11th inning of baseball this afternoon. Pompey takes the 0-2 inside. That one was close, but no cigar for Dylan Grove, who's come in and thrown 2 scoreless innings so far. The only hit he's given up was to Jake Anchia, but forced a ground ball double play from John Topa immediately after back in the second. Here we are in the bottom of the fourth. Metz takes off. Pompey swings and misses, strike 3, but Metz reaches second. So runner in scoring position and 1 out. Pompey with another strikeout, and he's really struggled as of recently. He had 2 strikeouts in the first game today and 3 strikeouts yesterday against Falmouth. So Willie McIver with runners in scoring position have been good. He has been good, but right now there's going to be a conference between Kobe Vance, the second baseman, and the pitcher Dylan Grove. Figure out how they're going to mess with Metz's mind over at second base. You don't want him to get too far of a lead if you're Harwich. As a reminder, this is a 7-inning ball game tonight. You're watching Wareham Gatemen baseball on WCTV. I'm Connor Federico. Thank you much for joining me and the WCTV crew tonight at Spillane Field. Willie McIver takes a strike. No teams around the Cape Cod Baseball League have a situation like this where if you can't make it to Spillane Field and you're in the Wareham area where you can sit at home and watch the game. So thank you for joining us tonight. Grove deals, and this one is fouled away by McIver. The count's going to go to 0-2. So after giving off a leadoff base hit to Robbie Metz, Dylan Grove has worked 2 consecutive 0-2 counts against some of Wareham's most dangerous hitters, Pompey and McIver. He got Pompey to strike out, but what's he going to do to McIver right here? McIver scored the only run of Game 1. Grove deals the 0-2. This one smacked the other way by McIver. It's heading down the first base line, and it lands foul. A very close play, and that could have been an RBI double or triple for Willie McIver. And this time the foul ball goes the way that the Gatemen don't want it to. They would have preferred that one landed fair as opposed to Pompey's grounder down the first base line that ended up foul. So tough break here for the Gatemen, but Willie McIver extends this at bat. Will stay with an 0-2. Great fans here tonight at Spillane Field. Beautiful game, beautiful day for a ball game, but the Gatemen have yet to impress this home crowd. The 0-2 from Grove is on its way, and just holding up is McIver. They'll ask for an appeal, and the umpire at second base rules that McIver did not go, so the count will go to 1-2. 1 out in this inning. It was Tristan Pompey's strikeout, and Robbie Metz is the runner on second right now. He hasn't been stranding too far from second base. Kobe Vance has been doing a good job, the second baseman, of keeping him there. The 0-2, the 1-2, and it hits McIver. Wow. So Grove was up in that at bat the entire time, had 2 strikes against McIver for the majority of it, and he gives away a hit by pitch. It'll put runners on first and second with 1 out, and the Gatemen have a dangerous 5-hitter wearing number 5 in white. It's Luke Bonfield from Arkansas. He's got a runner in scoring position, and he'll be trying to knock Metz in right now. If he can't do it, Jake Anchia will have an opportunity coming up. Middle infield at double play depth for Bonfield, who takes the 0-0 down low. Grove can't get ahead in the count here, and the count goes to 1-0. Bonfield awaiting on the 1-0 from Grove out of the stretch with the high socks. Kicks and swing and miss from Bonfield. Metz and McIver forced to retreat back to first base. Count goes to 1-1 now. Bonfield struck out in the second of this ball game. Bottom of the fourth of a 7-inning contest, and Bonfield swings and fouls this one off. The Arkansas outfielder in the first game went 1 for 3. His lone base hit was a single in the bottom of the seventh, but his Gatemen teammates couldn't find a way to push him across for any runs. We'll get a 1-2 from Grove in just a second as he waits on Bonfield. They both look set now. Grove deals, and Bonfield grounds this one through the gap between shortstop and home plate. Rounding third and heading for home is Robbie Metz. The tag is not in time, and the throw goes over to the catcher's head. Bonfield reaches second base. It's an RBI single from the outfielder from Arkansas, Luke Bonfield, and Robbie Metz comes home. The Gatemen have their first lead of the afternoon. It's 1-0. Great job of situational hitting by Luke Bonfield. McIver will roll all the way to third base, and Bonfield will take second. So 2 runners in scoring position now for Jake Anchia, who's 1 for 1 this game. Harwich far from out of this inning. Anchia swings on an off-speeds pitch. He was way ahead of that one. You see McIver on third there talking to third base coach Jimmy Francos. McIver in the first game scored Wareham's only run on a passed ball. McIver very aware on the base paths. Anchia swings, and this one is popped up in the shallow infield. Calling off the pitcher is the first baseman Farrell, and Jake Anchia cannot do his job right there. The runners will have to stay put at second and third. It'll bring up John Topa with 2 outs and 2 runners in scoring position. Topa, his last at-bat, grounded into a 6-4-3 double play. This inning was started by Robbie Metz, who had a base hit, his second of the day. He took second base on a steal, as Topa takes a strike, as you see some action going on in the Harwich bullpen, getting ready in case Dylan Grove can't get out of this inning. Check swing, but the ball gets away from the catcher D'Alessandro, and Willie McIver scores his second run of today the exact same way he scored the first, on a passed ball. A little bit of luck for the Gatemen, and they just put their second run on the board without even putting the ball in play. Tough break right there for Harwich, but that's just how baseball is sometimes, and the Gatemen have a 2-run lead now. Moving to third on the play was Bonfield. Topa with a base hit could make this a 3-0 game. And he'll take a ball that hits him on the left shoulder, and he'll walk on down to first base. He looks just fine. Runners on the corners now, and this will bring up Ben Baird for Wareham. Ben Baird on the season hasn't been hitting all too well. Coming into this game, an .091 batting average that has gone down since his strikeout in the second. That's 2 hits on 22 at-bats, now 23 at-bats for Baird. He wears number 3 in white, and he takes ball 1, but he asks for an appeal, and the umpire at first rules that Baird did go. Didn't seem like his wrists moved at all, but the count's going to go to 0-1. John Topa on first with a hit-by pitch. He's certainly a threat to steal second. Bonfield's over at third. He had an RBI single. And taking strike 2 is Ben Baird, so he's quickly behind. Dylan Grove working ahead in this at-bat. He wants this inning to end very badly, giving up 2 runs. here in the bottom of the fourth. And there's only 3 innings left in this ball game. 5th, 6th, and 7th. Second game of a doubleheader. Topa fakes going, and this ball's down in the dirt. Count 1-2 at a critical juncture in this ball game. Like to see if Bonfield can come around to score after knocking one in himself, but he'll need a little help from Ben Baird after John Topa's hit by a pitch. On deck's Nick Angelini. Going is Topa. This ball's in the dirt. Throwing down a second. And in time is the throw. No! It's going to be ruled safe. The second base umpire changes his call. He dropped the ball. And now it looks like the Harwich coach is going to come out and have a chat. I think Kobe Vance thought that the play was over, so he just let the ball sort of nice and easily come out of his glove. And now there's going to be a chat. The umpires have yet to get together. And man, what a break this would be for the Gatemen as Topa is safe. The throw beat him by a mile. With a runner on third base, D'Alessandro elected to throw down a second. And it looks like the call's going to stand. John Topa is safe at second. That's a really tough break if you're the Harwich Mariners. But you have an 0-91 hitter at the plate right now in Ben Baird. You gotta get him out of the inning. Ben Baird is at the plate. And Dylan Grove is just a couple pitches away from getting out of this inning. There's 2 strikes. The pitch is cut on and missed. Strike 3. The stolen base doesn't matter. And Ben Baird goes back to the dugout. But it's 2 runs on 2 hits for the Wareham Gatemen here in the bottom of the fourth. We'll move to the 5th. The Gatemen have a 2-0 lead. You're watching Wareham Gatemen Baseball on WCTV. Look at Clem Spillane Field. A beautiful baseball diamond on a beautiful day. And Kyler Murray is at the plate right now. We're here in the top of the 5th. Gatemen have a 2-0 lead over their West Division foe today, the Harwich Mariners. East Division, I apologize. The Gatemen are in the West, and a ball is taken low by Murray, who grounded out just barely on a great throw across his body from the shortstop Baird, his first go-around in the second. Called strike on the outside corner. After Murray is Vierling and D'Alessandro. All of them have been retired. In fact, the only Mariner that hasn't been retired in this game, too, is Kobe Vance, who just had a single. Called strike. Vance looking to get something going for these Mariners, who haven't had much success against Justin Montgomery, who's thrown 4 scoreless innings. Montgomery deals, and this one is flied out of play. So a foul ball. Count goes to 1-2. It remains at 1-2, I'm sorry. Montgomery's 1-2 is cut on and fouled off again. Montgomery's fastball has really helped him today. It doesn't hit more than 92 miles an hour, but it sure has looked good. He's been pinpointing it perfectly. Got plenty of two strike at bats, and now the count will go to 2-2 after a ball that hits the dirt and blocked by McIver. Young fan takes a stroll across the ballpark here at Spillane. We've got a 2-2 now. Montgomery deals, and this ball's in the dirt again, blocked by McIver. So the count will go full. And to my recollection, this is the first time this is the first time Justin Montgomery, the pitcher, has had a full count today. He's really been working against hitters quickly in the at-bats, not throwing a lot of balls in this game. Two strikes has really been the story of the day for Montgomery, really getting ahead quick. The 3-2. Called strike 3 on the outside corner. Vance is upset, but he'll walk back to the Harwich dugout. It's a full count strikeout pitch from Justin Montgomery. Count him up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 strikeouts through 4 1/3 innings of work from Montgomery. There is action in the Gatemen bullpen, but we're not sure if we'll see anybody yet. Looks to be Frankie Bartow in the Gatemen bullpen. Matt Vierling's up now. He flew out to the right fielder Bonfield his first go around. Takes a big cut and a miss. Count goes 0-1. The 0-1's down in the dirt. Count evens out at 1 ball and 1 strike now. For the Gatemen, they have a 4-8 record on the season. Leaving Falmouth yesterday, they were 4-7. They went into that game 4-6, and it's been a tough stretch of games as Vierling pops this one up in the shallow outfield. Under it is the shortstop Baird, and he makes the catch. It's the second out of the inning. It'll bring up Nick D'Alessandro, one of Justin Montgomery's many strikeout victims. This 7-8-9 part of the lineup now, D'Alessandro, Farrell, and Novak have all struck out against Montgomery. Really showing off a commanding fastball. And he puts it in the strike zone right there for a called strike 1. Another first pitch strike for Montgomery. Count goes to 0-1. Count will now go to 1-1 after he misses low. And a pitch in the dirt will get passed by McIver, but nobody's on base, so it doesn't matter. Count goes to 2-1. A lot of fans here today at the ballpark. You can see plenty of Gatemen apparel right over the Harwich dugout, and a big cut and a miss from Nick D'Alessandro. Montgomery 1 pitch away from going 5 innings scoreless. The 2-2. Called strike 3. Low and outside part of the plate. And it's 2 strikeouts in this inning. And Montgomery is getting a standing ovation from Gatemen fans. Returning back to the dugout is D'Alessandro, and the Gatemen still have a 2-0 lead. It's Wareham Gatemen baseball on WCTV. Wareham Gatemen Baseball on WCTV. I'm Connor Federico along with the WCTV crew this afternoon, and thank you very much for watching your local community television station here in Wareham on the south coast of Massachusetts, the gateway to Cape Cod. That's why they're called the Gatemen. Taking a look around the Cape League right now, Stony Brook Field in Brewster, the Whitecaps took a 6-4 win over Bourne in an 8-inning game, a walk-off for Brewster. A 14-3 victory for the YD Red Sox over Falmouth. A 6-4 win for Orleans, who were hosting the Katuitt Kettlers. And an 8-5 win for the Hyannis Harbor Hawks in 7 innings over the Chatham Anglers. Right now, Brewster leads Bourne in their second game, 4-3. That's in the bottom of the 6th. YD leads Falmouth 1-0. As the first pitch of this at-bat to Nick Angelini hits him right in the back. Good start for the Gatemen because Angelini looks fine, and they get their leadoff runner on in terms of a hit-by pitch. Hyannis leads Chatham 3-2. That one's in the bottom of the 2nd. Orleans leads Katuitt 3-0. So we might be seeing a lot of potential sweeps today, as there's going to be a mound visit now, and it looks like Harwich is just going to talk this over. They're not going to make a pitching change yet. So tough spot here for Harwich. They've got Angelini, a speedster, on first base right now. Here in the bottom of the 5th of, one more reminder, it's a 7-inning game. Plenty of action right now in the Harwich bullpen. We saw Cole Aker warming up before. Kyle Gasser, he's 0 for 2 today, but the leadoff man has a runner on board for his first time up at the plate. He's going to try to get something going right now. Angelini can run, and Gasser shows bunt but pulls it away. Count goes 1-0. Again, more action in the bullpen from Harwich. They might need to bail out Dylan Grove if he gets into too much trouble in this inning. Laying down a bunt and popping it up is Gasser, so the count will go to 1-1. Gasser. Awaiting the 1-1 pitch. And time is called by the batter. Pickoff throw on the first base. Not in time to get Angelini. Want to make sure he's scared back there. Austin Hanson is the pitcher from Oklahoma. He's up in the bullpen right now for Harwich. First we'll see Groves, 1-1. It's low in the dirt and it gets away from the catcher. Moving on to second, and rounding second and heading for third is Angelini. Angelini sticks at third, and the pass ball causes two bases to be taken for Nick Angelini, who was hit by a pitch. So simple mistakes right now. It's what's killing Dylan Grove and the Mariners right here. You know, Angelini was looking to steal, but he didn't think taking 2 bases would be that easy. And that's the second passed ball today for the catcher D'Alessandro, who did not catch in the first game. Hitting this one into center field for a base hit is Gasser. He gets an RBI as Angelini comes in, and Gasser drives in the 3rd run of the game for the Wareham Gatemen. Angelini was hit by a pitch to lead off this inning, the very first pitch of the bottom of the 5th, and then Kyle Kasser eventually drives him in with a single after Angelini took 2 bases. This will bring up Robbie Metz, who's 2 for 2 on the day. He shows bunt, pulls it back, and the count goes 1-0. So Kasser over there at first. We'll see if he takes off. That's really been the recipe for success for the Gatemen this season. They already stole a base courtesy of Gian Topa earlier in this ballgame. Robbie Metz also stole a base. He's at the plate now with a 1-0 count. Grove, this one's chopped to the shortstop, making a tough play. He'll keep it in the infield, but he can't do anything else with it, is Burt. It's an infield base hit for Robbie Metz, and what do you know? The returning leader for the Gatemen is 3 for 3 in Game 2 of this doubleheader. And now would really be a great time with 2 runners on for Tristan Pompey to show once again that he's a breakout star here in the Cape Cod Baseball League. Only his 4th game of the season in his 3rd day here with Wareham, wearing number 15. He shows bunt, lays it down the third base line, it goes foul. Pompey has shown us he has power, but man, he's also a speedster, and that's exactly the kind of hitter that Don Sneddon likes to see. We have yet to see Pompey in the outfield. He's been DHing for the most part. He's hitting from the left side now against Grove, who struck him out earlier in this game. He takes a pitch on the outside corner, and this seems to happen to Pompey and Pompey only. It's a strike called way outside. You can see it right there on your TV screen. And he has an 0-2 count right now. You don't want to see Pompey strike out again. Grove is trying to, though. He's got no outs and 2 runners on. The 0-2 is fouled away by Pompey. He'll keep this at-bat alive right now. On deck, Willie McIver, who scored a run in this game on a passed ball, just like he did with the Gatemen's only run back in the first game. Pompey digs in, shuffles his feet. He awaits the 0-2 from Grove. Running is the runner. It's called strike 3 on Pompey, and Kasser will take third base. Grove was not paying any attention to the runner on second, Kasser. It's going to be a strikeout looking for Pompey. He's not happy, but the Gatemen are glad they have runners on the corners now with only 1 out remaining on first. I guess he missed a signal, Robbie Metz, or Kyle Kasser decided to take third on his own. Really heads-up play by Kasser. Even with the lefty batter at the plate, he takes third. It'll bring up Willie McIver. Ball is passed, and it goes all the way to the backstop. It'll be another run scored on a passed ball for the Gatemen, their 3rd of the day and the 2nd of this game, too. It's a 4-0 lead now. And D'Alessandro wants to have a chat with his pitcher, Grove. The two must be very frustrated with each other right now. Taking second on the play is Metz. Harwich is far from out of this inning. You've got one of the Gatemen's best hitters up right now, and the guy who had an RBI earlier in this game on deck in Bonfield. McIver hits this one to the shortstop, Burt. He throws on a first. What a play. That's the 2nd out of the inning. McIver, who's speedy for a catcher, just can't beat it out. And that'll be the 2nd out of this bottom of the 5th. It keeps Metz at second, by the way. And he's already scored a run in this game. The Mariners are trying to prevent him from scoring his 2nd. So in a 4-run game for the Gatemen, there's only 2 players with RBI, Luke Bonfield and Kyle Kasser. The other 2 runs scored on passed balls. Bonfield takes a ball up high. His single in the bottom of the 4th scored Robbie Metz, so he has a chance to do the exact same thing. that he did back in the 4th inning here in the 5th, wearing number 5 in white. And he takes a ball low in the dirt. Count goes to 2-0. Huge hitters count opportunity for McIver. Grove out of the stretch like he's been basically this entire inning, since he hit Nick Angelini with the hit-by pitch to start us off here in the bottom of the 5th frame. This ball almost hits Bonfield, but instead it'll be a 3-0 count. Cute dog here at Spillane Field. Baseball is just not for people, it's for all creatures. Everybody loves baseball, except probably that bird that was hit by a Randy Johnson pitch so many years ago. Called strike to Bonfield. You know, you see birds on baseball fields all the time. You think you could scare them away a little bit if you showed them a video of that bird being killed by Randy Johnson. You'd think birds would learn, but they might not have the biggest brains in the world. The 3-1 hitters count for Luke Bonfield. Swinging and grounding it to the left side, just foul. That ball had a lot of velocity. It took its first hop in the infield, and it lands halfway down the third base line all the way to the wall. Great shot by our WCTV crew. Tracking a baseball with a camera is much harder than you think, folks. 3-2 to Bonfield is upcoming right here. Metz is on second with 2 outs. Called strike 3. Bonfield was walking to first. Instead, he's walking back to the dugout. But not before a 2-run inning by a Kyle Kasser and Nick Angelini for the Wareham Gatemen. A beautiful sunset is on its way down here at Spillane Field. It's 4-0 Wareham. You're watching Wareham Gatemen Baseball on WCTV. What a beautiful sunset fading here in Wareham, Massachusetts. You're looking at Wareham High School. And the new pitcher for the Gatemen is Frankie Bartow. First pitch is called for a ball from Bartow. Batter's Jake Farrell, and he will take a ball low. So it's back-to-back 2-run innings for the Gatemen. Robbie Metz, Willie McIver, Nick Angelini, and Kyle Kasser have all scored. Kasser also drove a run in. The other RBI belongs to Luke Bonfield. So it's going to be Jake Farrell, Justin Novak, and then Andrew Moritz here in the top of the 6th. Ball called inside. Bartow, the new pitcher from Miami, Had dominating stuff his first appearance of the season for the Gatemen. Count goes 3-1, and it's high, and this is going to be a walk for Farrell. So Justin Montgomery, his day is done, but boy, what a day he had. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 strikeouts in 5 innings of work, only gave up 1 hit, and did not let anybody come around to score. So the new pitcher is Frankie Bartow. Out of the stretch now, he deals this one high to Justin Novak, who comes all the way from Tokyo, plays his college baseball with the Virginia Cavaliers, travels halfway across the world to play his baseball here in the States. Time is called, and MacIver wants to have a chat with Bartow, who has given up the only walk of this baseball game. Second walk of the day for Gatemen pitchers. The only one came in the first game to Andrew Moritz. Novak up now. He's got speed, but the Gatemen are in double play depth. The middle infield of Metz and Baird. Novak takes a called strike, so after the chat between Bartow and MacIver, they seem to be on the same page now, and the count goes to 2-1. Novak, a tailor-made double play ball to Baird. He bobbles it. Metz takes the throw, and the umpire's going to rule that Metz caught that ball, and indeed the runner Farrell is out. It's going to be ruled a fielder's choice. What could have been a double play ball, but Baird bobbled it in the middle infield. The umpire made the transfer rule calling that Metz caught the ball but released it, trying to get the ball out of his hand, throwing off to first base. So even though the ball came out, that's why it was ruled out. So the runner on first is Novak. There's 1 out. And this is going to bring up Andrew Moritz, number 6, who had a fantastic first game. Oh, another dog here at Spillane. Baseball, a game for all creatures except birds. Novak's got speed over there on first base. He takes a good secondary lead. MacIver asks for an appeal on the check swing, and it's ruled that Moritz did not go. Moritz both times up this game in the first and the fourth. Grounded out to Robbie Metz, who made a good throw to Jake Anchia. On deck is Max Burt, who is also hitless in this game. Bartow out of the stretch. Deals and gets a swing and a miss from Moritz. The count will go to 1-2. Top of the lineup here for Harwich. The Mariners won the first game of this doubleheader by a score of 4-1. The Gatemen right now have a 4-0 lead. This is ground ball to the third baseman, Kasser. Flips it on to second. Metz on to first, not in time. It's another fielder's choice, forced by the Gatemen. Novak out at second, and Moritz had speed. That's the only reason he beat that one out at first. So he reaches, and Max Bird is up with 2 outs here in the second to last inning of play. The lights have come on here at Spillane Field. All the shadows are gone now, and it looks like the sun has passed behind the trees. Time's called by the batter, Burt. Burt in the first game had an RBI single in the 6th inning that scored Brad Debo. Play is called by the home plate umpire. Moritz with a good lead over there at first base. Bartow not paying much attention to him. Goes after the batter, and it's going to be a called ball. MacIver tried to frame that one the best he can, but it's called inside. The count goes to 1-1. Bartow, the pitcher from Miami, he sets, deals, and this one's popped up. It's going to go out of play. Catch made by a young fan. Really impressive stuff by that man running down the stairs right there. pitch. This one is swung on and fouled back again. So we'll do the 1-2. If you catch a ball in the stands, it does not count. Still just a foul ball. See fans in the stands all the time make great catches. And the count remains 1-2. Bartow just a pitch away from getting out of this top of the 6th. Here's the 1-2. It's way in the dirt. McIver throws on to second base. The throw is not in time to get Moritz, who took off before the ball hit the dirt. But, wow, really impressive recovery there by McIver. Just still not in time, and it's a stolen base for the leadoff man. He's in scoring position now. Believe it or not, that's the first time a runner has been in scoring position in this game 2 of the doubleheader for the Mariners. It's been a tale of 2 different Harwich teams today. Ground ball to the third baseman, Kasser. On to first in time. And the stolen base doesn't matter. That ends the top of the 6th inning. The Gatemen will go to the bottom of this frame, looking to add a little run support before the finale in the 7th. You're watching Wareham Gatemen Baseball on WCTV. It's the bottom of the 6th inning. The Wareham Gatemen have a 4-0 lead. You're watching WCTV. I'm Connor Federico, along with the Wareham Community Television crew tonight, who do an outstanding job, as always, here at Clem Spillane Field. The Gatemen, they didn't do such a tremendous job in the first game of this doubleheader, but right now, they've really put some runs together. They have 4. By the way, they're 4-0 this season when scoring 4 runs or more, and right now, they're well on their way to making that 5-0. By the way, the Gatemen have exactly 4 wins this season. So that seems to be the mark for the Gatemen. You got to get 4 runs and you'll get a win. It's only the bottom of the 6th of a 7-inning game, so Jake Anchia is up here, and he lines this one to right field. It's a base hit. And Anchia will round first and stay right there. It's a great piece of hitting for Jake Anchia. He is 2 for 3 in this ball game. Right now, John Topa and Ben Baird's on deck. He struck out twice today. His mom and his sister are in the stands today, all the way from California to see their son play here in Cape Cod, the Washington Husky. But right now we have a Yukon Husky at the plate. It's John Topa, wearing number 14 in blue. In white, rather. No blue in the Gatemen's home uniforms. They're all blue in their road uniforms. But just a couple of weeks ago, we had a young fan from Orleans say to us, "Are these the Gatemen's only uniforms?" He was talking about the blue ones, because the Gatemen haven't played that many home games. This is only their 5th. And it's only been 4 days that they've been at home, because this is a doubleheader, so 5 home games in 4 days at home for the Gatemen. They're off tomorrow, and then they'll host Hyannis on Tuesday. Ground ball to the left side. John Topa trying to leg it out, and he can't. What a great throw from the third baseman, Justin Novak. He's usually a guy that plays at the 4 spot at second base, but in the 5 spot, he makes a fantastic throw. Great job down the third base line, keeping that ball fair and throwing out the speedy Topa. Up now is Ben Baird, and there's one of those birds that are staying far, far away from the field. They don't want to get hit by any Randy Johnson-esque fastballs. Some of these guys here can hit high speeds, but not like the big unit could. Not yet, anyway. Anchius stands on second base. He takes a bit of a lead, and Ben Baird takes a called strike on the inside corner. He struck out twice today, once in the 3rd, and an inning-ending strikeout in the 4th. He left 2 runners on base in that situation. Gatemen have 4 runs in this ball game, 2 from wild pitches by Dylan Grove, and another 2 on RBI singles. Here's a ball that's lifted into left field. It's going to drop for a base hit. Rounding third and heading for home is Anchia. Baird is on second base, and Ben Baird has his 3rd hit of the season. He wears number 3 in white, and he shows off for his family members tonight. Finally, with an RBI base hit. It's been a struggle for Baird, but he comes through here, and Wareham has its 5th run of the game. So that'll bring around Jake Anchia, and the Gatemen, they still are threatening in this ball game. Baird has plenty of speed. He roams around the second base area. Nick Angelini pops this one up out of play. Angelini in the 4th inning was hit by a pitch. In the 5th inning, I'm sorry, just a few moments ago. He led off the inning. First pitch he saw hit him straight in the back. He jogged down to first, watched a wild pitch hit the backstop, and took 2nd and 3rd, and then came around to score on a Kyle Kasser single. Pickoff attempt, just not in time, and Kobe Vance was trying to sneak up on Ben Baird. He did so successfully, but the throw just wasn't in time. So Baird could come around to score right here with some clutch hitting with an out in this inning from either Angelini, Kasser, or in the hole is Robbie Metz, who's 3 for 3 today. Time's called by Angelini. So after the first game, a lot of things just weren't going right for the Gatemen. Right now, everything seems to be going right. They have a 5-0 lead. Taking a strike on the inside corner is Angelini, and Baird retreats back to second base. The 0-2 to Angelini inbound. Ground ball to the shortstop, Burt. Nobody's covering third, so no play. Throw on a first is in time. It's the 2nd out of the inning. Ben Baird makes the decision to take off for third, and he gets there successfully. Nick Angelini grounds out 6-3. It'll bring up Kyle Kasser, who the last time he saw one of his teammates on third base drove in a run. So this is his 4th game with the Gatemen. He has 3 RBIs on the season. 1 against Orleans, 1 against Falmouth yesterday, and 1 in this game too today. He could get his 4th right here. He's got his speedy teammate in Angelini up right now. Kasser is 1 for 3 with an RBI and a run scored. Time's called. Since coming in, this pitcher, Austin Hansen from Oklahoma, has not been all that impressive. pitch. This one is blooped into shallow left. It's caught by Murray, and that will end the inning. Another run for the Gatemen. They get a little bit of insurance in the bottom of the 6th, and they're 3 outs away from their 5th win of the season. We'll be right back for the top of the 7th on WCTV. On to close out the top of the 7th inning is Frankie Bartow. He could give the Gatemen their 5th win of the season, and they currently hold a 5-0 lead. Look at that bird soar. Is that an osprey? He had a fish. Really impressive stuff from that bird. That's an osprey, and we've got plenty around here in Wareham. They nest all over the place on your drive to Spillane Field. Great shot by our WCTV crew. Up to bat right now is Kobe Vance. On deck, Brad Debo, and then Kyler Murray. Frankie Bartow will try to go through them. 2-0. Swung on and hit out to deep left field. Going back for it's Topa. He can't make the jumping catch. He gets to the wall, and Vance rounds second. He's going to head for third. Nope, he's going to hold up. Good play by John Topa. What a throw getting that ball in there. That ball was uncatchable for even the speediest of outfielders. And that was a big extra base hit for Kobe Vance. He's the only Harwich player on the day with a multi-hit game. Check that. He's the only Harwich player with a hit at all today. I'm sorry, in this second game. So both Harwich hits belong to Kobe Vance. It's a single and a double. And this will bring up Brad Debo, who struck out in the second and was retired as well in the 5th. He takes a called strike. So Frankie Bartow puts a man in scoring position, but with a 5-0 lead, the only run that matters to the Gatemen is 3 batters away. Bartow would like to make this a quicker inning than that. He deals, and this one is low, called for a ball. The lights are on, and the sun is still shining just a bit here in Wareham. Kobe Vance takes the lead off second base. Harwich has those really nice socks, and a lot of these guys like to show them off. The blue with the red stripes. Get a good look at them right there. Gatemen players, all of them in the field, have low pants. None of them have hiked up socks to the knees. Ground ball, foul. Pretty close, and their guys in the bullpen are going to have a race to the ball, and winning the race is one of the pitchers. Really impressive speed out of the pitchers. Maybe we'll use one of them for a pinch runner. Doubt we'll see that, though. The 2-2, Bartow out of the stretch. This one is fouled off. It looks to go out of play, and yep, McIver will not have a play on it. It goes back to the John Wild press box. John Wild, one of the saviors of the Wareham Gatemen and the Cape Cod Baseball League. Honored for his work here with Wareham. See number 3 in gray is Kobe Vance, and number 3 in white is the shortstop Ben Baird, both middle infielders. Here's a deep fly ball out to right field. Bonfield's under it, but he's in the sun. He makes the catch, and Vance is going to tag from second and head to third. It doesn't really matter to the Gatemen where Vance goes. They get the first out of the inning, and now they're 2 away from victory. Bartow, though, he would probably like to keep this as a shutout. Vance advances to third. It's going to bring up Kyler Murray. Nobody up in the Harwich bullpen right now. They're just looking on, hoping that they can get some run support from their offense. Harwich still hasn't put up a run today. Called strike on Murray. Vance, who's currently on third base, is the farthest any Harwich player has gone around the diamond in this game. Called ball up high, and McIver just tells Bartow to stick with it and try to throw strikes. The count goes to 1-1. One is swung on foul. Murray was a little bit ahead of that off-speed pitch from Bartow. Roll up against the fence. And remaining there at third is Kobe Vance. Touches third, and now the game can be restarted after that foul ball. Bartow seems to be taking his time, though, as Murray does too. This has been a very quick game, a very quick 2 games. As a young fan gets a ball and sprints away with it. Ball hit out to right center field. Angelini makes the play. Tagging and heading for home is Vance, and he's going to score. Second out, the Gatemen are 1 away from victory, but they do give up the shutout, and Harwich gets a run on the board. It's 5-1. A lot of whistling out of the Harwich dugout and out of their bullpen. Not a lot of Harwich fans made the trek all the way here to Wareham. It's upwards to an hour drive. Not to mention the traffic here on Cape Cod. Trying to leave the Cape on a Sunday afternoon might not have been the best idea for the Mariners, but they did make it with plenty of time. There's 1 out between the Gatemen and victory. And it lies in Matt Vierling, who fouls this one off. On deck is Nick D'Alessandro. Both of those hitters are 0 for 2 today. So Frankie Bartow, he's 1 out away from closing the deal for the Gatemen. He pitches, and this one's low. Getting the win more than likely, actually most definitely getting the win, will be Justin Montgomery if the Gatemen can hold on. He gave up 1 hit through 5 scoreless innings of work. A really fantastic job by him. Bartow deals, and he gets a foul ball. Count will move to 2-2, and Bartow, who's also done pretty well, only given up 1 run through an inning and 2/3. He's trying to close the deal right now. Gatemen have 5 runs on the scoreboard, and with 1 pitch, they're going to get their 5th win of the year. Bartow deals, and it's fouled off. We'll wait for that game-winning moment, unless Harwich has something else in mind, but right now that dugout looks pretty deflated. Both teams wanted to come in here today and get 2 victories, but it seems at this point that each one will walk away with 1 in a split decision. This ball's in the dirt. With the win, the Gatemen will move to 2-1 against Harwich this year. And the count goes to 3-2. Bartow just a pitch away. The payoff deal is swung on and missed. McIver makes the tag. That's it. A 5-1 win for the Wareham Gatemen. They get RBIs from Kyle Kasser, Luke Bonfield, and Ben Baird. And they win this one, the second of a twin bill day for the Gatemen. Harwich wins game 1 by a score of 4-1, and the Gatemen literally one up them in the second game by winning 5-1. Make sure to watch on WCTV, the Gatemen Baseball Network on YouTube, or come on down to Spillane Field on Tuesday when the Gatemen take on the Hyannis Harbor Hawks. For the entire WCTV crew, thank you very much for watching WCTV Wareham Gatemen Baseball. I'm Connor Federico, and enjoy the rest of your Sunday night.